What's going on, brothers? It's L.O.M taking over the name. Got another video for you. As written title, have a long memory. Here goes. Shout out to E-Man67 for pointing out that Johnny Depp won his appeal. Shout out to that brother. Now on with the video. So it looks like a couple of brothers out there, fence sitters and purple peelers, are rejoicing because these feminists are losing steam. A lot of their narratives are having holes punched in them, and their arguments are falling on deaf ears, but I gotta say it like this. And this goes for you brothers sitting on the fence and for you brothers who are lukewarm to this lifestyle. So check this out. You need to have a long memory. You hear? You need to have a very long memory. You see, feminism is not dead. It's still alive. I mean, a lot of their arguments have had holes punched in it. A lot of their narratives have had holes punched in it. And the word is getting out on the internet that, for the most part, men are not getting married because women will not stay married. And we look at the statistics that prove that 80% of the initiators of divorce are women. We know that. But you need to have a long memory. You need to be mindful of the legal snares and traps. You need to be mindful of all the games that these trollops and feminists still play. And you also need to be cognizant of the fact that these corporations and the machinery of the state would happily disenfranchise you to prop up these feminists and these women, especially ones who aren't qualified to do your job. Always have a long memory. Always. The disenfranchisement is not going to go away overnight, and they're still going to come up with these chicken shit excuses and arguments and these narratives as to why they should have more than men. And you see that a lot of people are looking at them and they're not seeing rational human beings anymore. They're looking at them and seeing lunatics. Well, you better pat yourself on the back. You're the reason why a lot more people see these feminists as lunatics. Because you see, they'll say that they're for equality, but much of what they talk sounds like female chauvinism. Because if they were for equality, they'd be egalitarian, which they're not. Therefore, artificially propping up women and girls over men so that they can ultimately overtake and destroy them. That was these white females' whole reason for joining the Ku Klux Klan to begin with. To yoke the strength of white men, overtake them and destroy them. In case you're wondering. Have a long memory. You see, they chose to be foolish with their sexuality. They chose to make their sex organs public property. They chose that. And a lot of them also chose to be single mothers. You gotta remember that too, brothers. A lot of them chose that. They chose to sleep with the bad boy Chads, Tyrones, the illiterate habitual felons, the convicts who they knew weren't up to no good. They farted out a bunch of children and now they need help. So they flood these dating apps looking for a pet wallet. And they're finding out the hard way that there aren't any suckers left for them to just bleed dry. They're not out there because more men are getting wise to the game. We did that. That's right, we did that. We did that by pointing out the legal snares and traps in front of these men and boys. We point out Briefl's Law, the Scum Manifesto. We point out yes means yes. We pointed out that there are feminists who openly advocate for women to falsely accuse men of rape, like Emily Linden, who said, and I quote, "It doesn't matter if a few innocent men's lives are ruined, all that matters is dismantling the patriarchy." She's greenlighting women to falsely accuse men of sexual assault or any false allegations. This is how you get witch burnings. lynch mobs from falsely accusing people. But see, it's a game to them. And notice something else, brothers. Notice this. 10 years ago, the general narrative, the general consensus among these feminists, these bitch-made simps, and these man-child butt plugs was that if you had a problem with feminism, you had a problem with all these unjust laws that single out men and boys, they say that you are a loser who can't get laid. Notice that that argument has had the volume turned down, and now the prevailing narrative among them is, where have all the good men gone? Have you noticed that? I have. And I gotta say it like this. The good men are still out there. They're just not interested in being some bad boy. They're not interested in wiping up some bad boy's throwaway garbage. They're not interested in taking care of some bad boy's thug spawn. They're not interested in doing that shit. Nobody wants to be a stepfather, especially during these legendary bad days. And for you brothers over at SYSPM, you see what's going on in Harlem, right? Where you got all those, the offsprings of single mothers who are out there beating and robbing those women, right? Those are products of single mother households. And single mother households is something that these feminists endorsed. They endorsed that madness. So in a way, that was self-inflicted. Right now, they reap what they've sown. That's what's happening. So you can't feel too bad for them. But yeah, you brothers really need to have a long memory. And you should not ever play a rigged game. I don't play a rigged game. I don't play fetch with a rabid dog, and I'm not going to play a rigged game. Hell, Prince said it best. If the playing field is not equal, and you know that it's not equal, and you got to step away. Yes, Prince Rogers Nelson said that. If the playing field is not equal, and you know that it's not equal, you've got to step away. Feminists turned marriage to a funeral with cake. They did that. And he also came up with concepts like starter marriage. These were women who got married to get a divorce and collect the loot, because they've read from the Forbes magazines that one of the fastest ways that women got to wealth was through marriage. And 80% of the initiators of divorce are women. You see? This shit show with relationships, marriages, kids out of wedlock, and all this other shit was self-inflicted. These feminists are responsible for that. Not you brothers who are worth your salt, you brothers who have eyes ears to hear, you men who are worth your weight in gold. We didn't do that. They did that. Hell, ask Linda Gordon. She said that a nuclear family must be destroyed. And as I've said before in my previous videos, one of the chief institutions of civilization is the family. If you tamper with this institution or set out to destroy it, you will get chaos. Well, here we are. The single mother rates are at 50%. Poverty is high. The STD rates are soaring. You got a lot of these trollops today who are still trying to see if they can find a pet wallet. And while they're doing this, they're also getting their marching orders from Cardi B and Beyonce. Girl, get that bag. You strong and independent. You don't need no man. Also the clown shit. Brothers, have a long memory. This is L.O.M. Mgtow. That's all I got. If you like the video, like, share, and the commentary, feel free to subscribe. If you don't visit my channel, you can find a tip jar on the upper right side of the screen. This is G+Icon. All right, fam. All right, brethren. You know it's real. You know routine. Go away, living room. SYSPM. As for our opposition, these feminists, these Jezebels, these bitch-made simps, and these fools. We have a problem with what we say and how we say it. Give them nothing. This has been Mgtow PSA. Border Cover State. See you soon.